To David Otto Endeley. He's the director for the Geneva Centre for Africa Security and Strategic Studies and joins us live from London. Sir, it's a pleasure seeing you. Thank you for your time. For anyone who's lost track of what's happening there, why has the fighting gotten worse in recent weeks?
I think, the fighting has always, been quite bad. I mean, since this conflict began, as we all know, in 2023 in April, and soon perhaps it will be 3 years. And the key here is that both the Sudanese army and the rapid support forces continue to fight to somehow consolidate, but also retake strategic territories. And perhaps what we've seen with recent, proposals for some kind of a ceasefire by the Quad. I'm talking about the likes of the United States, Egypt, United Arab Emirates, and Saudi Arabia. Both sides are fighting to hold a much more strategic position, which perhaps could give them some kind of an advantage during negotiations. So it's all about who has the biggest territory and who would have the bigger share when it comes to negotiation procedures.
What's happening in Sudan entails quite a few atrocities, including sexual violence, torture of women. I wonder if anyone actually has the leverage to stop this, because from the outside looking in, it feels as though everyone's waiting for someone else to move.
It has become very difficult for both the external but also internal parties to resolve the conflict simply because of the strategic nature of the way that the varying factions are approaching this conflict. Both sides are very keen on causing maximum amount of casualties to then force the other side to some kind of a submission. But the challenge is here is that none of them, as we've seen for the past years, has been able to have, an overwhelming force against the other. None of them is winning, and none of them is willing to give up. So when you see some of these atrocities, I mean, the United Nations Human Rights Office accused the RSF of, committing massacres. On the other hand, the RSF would also accuse the Sudanese army of doing the same. All these atrocities are committed because these factions are looking to gain some kind of supremacy on the ground in order to demonstrate that they are actually in control, and in order to demonstrate that they have some kind of leverage in the internal conflict. So again, one of the biggest challenge has been that several mediations have not been sincere. They've been very disconnected, and that again has led to the intensification of violence because there is no trust between both parties. Some of them, I mean, the Sudanese army, but also the RSF believes that ceasefire, could give, either side, some kind of a leverage to arm themselves, to plan and to treat their fallen soldiers or their wounded. So it's a whole scenario of distrust between the warring factions, but also distrust between the warring factions and those who are putting themselves as mediators in this conflict.
All right, David Otto Endeley, I really appreciate your time once more. Thank you so much.